Hi, this is Citi Showcase. My name is Bernard Avle. Today we are privileged to have the newly announced running mate to the PPP flag bearer, Brigitte Dzogbenuku. She'll be talking to us about what she's done and how she hopes to galvanize the PPP ticket for 2016. How many hats do you wear as a person? Because here you've just taken a political hat. Before you took the political hat, how many hats were you wearing?
You know, Bernard, I just try to live my life, and possibly when I sit down, then I start to account for what have I done. But I left Aviation Social Center after 12 years. I set up recreational facilities management, ran Barclays Clubhouse for a while, left that. I've continued with Mentoring Women Ghana, and I have just recently, in the last year, entered the palm oil business, where the women in my hometown in Ve, and these are the women I mainly work with are from Ve Bodome. So these women have been producing good quality palm oil.
Oh, Ve Afajato South?
Yes, Afajato South.
It came up in my quiz this morning.
Really?
I was doing a quiz. I asked what's the district capital of Afajato South. It was Ve Golokwati, which is not far from your hometown.
Yes, we're all one people.
Okay.
Yes.
So you've established Ve Flavor Industries.
So it's on a very small scale now. It's growing. But what I like about it is the fact that these women have been doing this jomi for years. It's good quality. It tastes good. I know that I haven't bought my jomi from Accra in a long time. My mother goes and brings it to me. And a few friends started to ask about it, and before I knew it, it started to grow. So I registered Ve Flavor Industries, and I get them to produce for me, and I repackage it nicely here instead of selling as they used to sell in the local market, bottle by bottle. So that's what
So you are a businesswoman,
yes.
You are an entrepreneur, you are a socio-political activist.
Titles.
But when the story came that you were the one Dr. Nduma chosen, the lead story was that former beauty queen becomes a flag bearer running mate. Tell me a bit about your decision to be a Miss Ghana. How long ago was this?
This was 25 years ago.
Wow.
In fact, in November it will be 26 years, because it was held on 3rd November 1990.
You still remember?
Yes, I mean it was a life changer.
3rd November 1990.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
You stood for Miss Ghana.
Yes, and as I said in a previous interview, the current Miss Ghana was probably not born. In fact, I can be sure that the current one and the one before were not born.
Was it the time they call it Embassy Pleasure?
Embassy Double Do.
Embassy Double Do with KKD.
Yes.
Wow. November 3. You were very young at the time.
Yes.
What was it like being Miss Ghana? Was it something you struggled with to contest? Was it something your family said don't do it? Or how was it?
You know, I can actually relate what I'm going through now to that time, because it was the same. There were those who said go for it, and there were those who said don't go for it. And it was all in love. It was all because people cared about you and cared what would become.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So when you were going for Miss Ghana, some people were saying don't do it.
Yes. My father was one who said not to do it.
What reasons were they giving you not to do it?
Oh gosh, they would know better than I would. But you know, people don't like the people they love to be in the public where they are a target for all kinds of things. So that might have been the reason. Yes.
Do you think beauty pageants have a reputation problem?
It's been 25 years. So whatever reputation they had then is hopefully not the same as what what perceptions people have now. Then yes, maybe there was a certain reputation, but it was all perception. It was all perception.
And did you go in knowing you were going to win, or it was something you just tried?
Not even on that night, not even whilst the competition was going on. I probably found out because some okro mouth came to whisper backstage.
Oh, wow.
Just before it was announced.
So you weren't actually expecting to win?
If it was based on looks, I shouldn't have won.
What is it supposed to be based on? Or what was it based on?
I think that was I say when I get the opportunity to go and talk to the contestants of Miss Ghana, I say to them that, listen, at the end of the day, you could be the prettiest face. It boils down to what you do on that stage on that night, at least in our time. It boiled down to what you said, how you performed on that night. So, yes, it counts, the looks count, but it's not solely based on that. There's a bit of intellect there.
So they were asking questions and stuff?
Yes.
So what was it that won it for you? Your confidence, your talent, your height?
I would want to believe it was intellect.
You would want to believe? Wow.
Yes.
You would want to believe?
I want to believe it was intellect. If it was height, there was a taller person than me. If it was confidence, there was definitely someone more confident than I was.
Wow.
Yes, so I would want... It's a combination of everything,
What was the experience like being thrust into the public space at a very young age in 1990?
This is a reminder of it, and this is a choice I made. Of course, that was a choice I made as well, but I didn't know what I expected, because for me, and maybe this has informed a lot of my thoughts right now, I went into the contest to win a car. I didn't go into the contest because I wanted to be a queen or hold a title. Or I went into the contest, I thought people said, you could win that car. And I thought, yes, I could use that car, And then I won it, and then I realized, you just don't take your car and go and say, yeah, I won it, this is my car. There's a lot more to do after that. And that is when it dawned on me. Yesterday, my brother Charles said to me, he said, it's now going to dawn on you what you've let yourself into. And I don't think he said that in a bad way, or,
So you make it seem as if it wasn't an easy decision to accept to be the running mate to Dr. Indum as PPP flag bearer. From all you've said, it's not an easy decision.
What do you think, Bernard? Would this be if it's an easy decision for anybody, then you're obviously not taking it very seriously.
Well, because some people clamor for it. I mean, there was a party where there were 17 people who wanted to be president so desperately. And I'm sure there were many more who wanted to be vice. So that's what I'm saying, that for some people, politics is what they do. And so for them, if they don't get the position, I mean, think about the lobbying that went on when Nana Akufo-Addo was named his running mate earlier before Bawumia was chosen, or when President Mahama became president and they had to choose Emisa Arthur. I mean, look at the media frenzy. You understand? So unless you're saying it's not something, you are not political. Because for most political people, running mate is a huge deal. And it's something they want to do immediately at once.
You've got to think about this and say, what is the motive behind that clamoring? What is the person's motive? What do they really want it for? Everybody wants power, but what do you want to do with that power? So that is it. What is the motive behind that clamoring? And if your motive is you've got good motives, I don't think it's a decision you take, because you also got to question yourself whether indeed you'll be able to make that impact, whether you appeal to the people you believe you will be appealing to. And all that, and all the scrutiny, there's no doubt about it. And in Ghana, our political climate is hostile, it's rough, the terrain is rough. So if you don't care, or if you're doing it for, personal reasons, then possibly that would be, you won't have to give it a lot of thought, and you say, yes, I'll take the position. I think I did that with Miss Ghana. Yes, I'll do it, and I won it, and then I didn't realize But this has had a lot of deliberation, and
you had to think carefully about this.
I have to think carefully. I had to ask some of the same people who I asked to do Miss Ghana, and that first and foremost is my family. I have a son that I had to explain to that this is what mommy is letting herself into, and you need to understand, and all that. You
need to understand, or interesting. So let's talk a bit about how you've evolved. So you became a public figure some 20-something years ago, but then what else did you do? Because you ran aviation for 9 years, you started your own company. But did you, having left university with your BA, were you clear at the time what you wanted to do with your life, maybe like 15 to 20 years ago?
I studied languages. So I studied Swahili, and I love Swahili. And I worked with, there's so many things. I realized that thankfully I'm a woman of many parts. I like to write, I write. So if you notice, there was a time I used to write in the mirror about manners and things like that. I like to work with people. So I initially started working at ELF for my national service. After national service, not unlike these days, I actually had an offer to work at ELF. I was on the sales team to sell bitumen. They had just started producing bitumen at the time. Wow. Someone came to me and said, I mean, look at you. You don't want to be selling coal tar. And frankly, for me at the time, I had a job that paid fairly well. Why not stay there and sell coal tar? But I was asked to apply for a job there was an opening at SC Johnson. So I applied and I got it. And SC Johnson was producing at the time, but gradually went into sales, importation and sales. And I worked there for a while, but I didn't quite like that. I was ready to go on my own or do something different. Mm-hmm. So I got to start a company that held events. So it was an events manager, and I got the idea actually through the whole Miss Ghana thing, because at the time mainly it was advertising companies that would do events on behalf of their companies. Now, what happened was that I got to work with one advertising company once, and I thought, why should they add all this to advertise? Why won't it be? So I was one of the first few to start an events management company. Unfortunately, at that time, what actually happened was Doomsaw struck.
Oh wow! This is mid-90s.
It didn't used to be called Doomsaw, of course, but
This is the mid-90s.
Yes, okay. And towards the late 90s. So I ran that for a while, and then I stopped and took an offer to go and work with Swahili in Tanzania for Ashanti Goldfields.
Oh wow!
So I worked in Dar es Salaam.
So you speak Swahili?
Naongea Kiswahili vizuri sana.
Asante sana.
Karibu sana.
Forgive. Sure. So your Swahili you did at Legon,
yes,
was something you actually traded with to work for Anglo?
It was quite an experience, and I call Tanzania, Dar es Salaam my second home. I have family there. Wow. Yes. So
so this is after your event company didn't do too well, so you took a new job in Tanzania. Yes. And how long did you spend in Tanzania?
About 15 months.
And then came back.
And then I came back. And when I came back, Aviation Social Center had just been built. Okay. They were looking for a general manager. I put in an application. I got it. I've been a sportswoman all my life. I was a sprinter in Wesley Girls. I did high jump.
You were a sprinter?
Yes.
In Wesley Girls.
I played basketball. I played basketball in University of Ghana. I ran, I did the sprints, I did high jump.
You were a tomboy?
I come after 3 boys. They are the ones I played with. My sister, who's 7 years older, would not play with me at the time. I hope she's listening.